One of the questions I get most from writers who are brand new to the self-publishing world is that they ask all the time, how much does it cost to self-publish on Amazon? And the short and simple answer is that it technically doesn't cost anything to publish on Amazon. There's no fees associated with publishing on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing like there is with some other print-on-demand companies such as Ingram Spark. And while you aren't paying any fees, Amazon still does make their cut. I've also seen some writers confused about how you can charge $12.99 for a book but only make $3 of royalties off of that book sale. So today we're going to be covering everything about the printing costs, the royalty rates, and how you are paid through Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. Hello everyone, my name is Mandi Lynn. I'm an author, book cover designer, and the creator of the Book Launch Planner series, and I make weekly videos on the business of being an author. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you never miss a new upload. So before we jump into everything, I did want to do a quick disclaimer that when I say you can publish for free on Amazon, I am referring to the fact that there are no publishing fees to publish on Amazon. When you self-publish a book, there's still a lot of other things that you have to pay for. And it's things that aren't directly associated with publishing your book, specifically on Kindle Direct Publishing. It has to do with self-publishing in general, such as paying maybe to have your book edited, to have your book formatted, to have the book cover designed. These are all separate things that you pay for. You don't necessarily have to pay for these things when you publish a book, but it is definitely recommended unless you know how to do those things yourself and do it on a professional level. Then, of course, you don't have to hire freelancers to do the designing and editing of your book. But if you don't know how to do those things, it is recommended that you hire someone to do it so your book appears professional. But with that aside, we are talking about the fees associated directly with Amazon today and not with self-publishing in general. So first things first, how much does it cost to print with Kindle Direct Publishing? Like I said earlier, there is nothing that you pay for out of pocket. The way that KDP makes their money is every time you sell a book. So when someone publishes a book, you make your royalty rate, and then there's also the printing cost, and then KDP also gets their cut as well. So when your book is sold, the money that you make off of that sale goes in 3 different places: to pay for the printing of the book, to pay Amazon for their cut, and then also you get your royalty rate, of course. So what are the royalty rates for paperback books? Because like I said, this is the part where things get split into 3 ways. The royalty rate on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing is 60%. So whatever your book is listed for, you make 60% of that. However, if you choose to do expanded distribution through Kindle Direct Publishing, you only make 40%. That is because now that extra 20% is going to wherever your book is also listed. So the way it works is that you have the printing cost, then you have your royalty rate, which is 40%. Then you have the cut that Amazon gets, and then the cut that whatever the other distributor is, what they get. It is highly recommended that rather than doing the expanded distribution through Amazon, you upload your book directly to other retailers to avoid Amazon taking their cut. That way you're not getting double dipped by Amazon and the other distributor. You're just getting the dip of the distributor taking their cut. Now, if you're wondering how much it will cost to print your book, Kindle Direct Publishing actually has a print cost calculator where it will calculate the printing cost as well as the royalty rate of the book. So you put in the information like the trim size of your book, how many pages it is, what type of paper, what type of ink, that sort of deal. And it'll tell you how much it will cost to print your book. So the more pages your book has, or the bigger the trim size, or if it's color instead of black and white, it's going to cost more. And of course, also a hardcover book is going to cost more than a paperback book. All right, so here we are on the KDP print and royalty cost calculator. So as you can see, it's super simple. You select either hardcover or paperback. I'm going to do paperback because that's most common. And then the interior type, I'm going to do a black and white interior with cream paper. In my opinion, that is the most professional in terms of a novel. I feel like cream paper just looks better than stark white paper. It's also the type of paper that most traditional authors use as well. My unit of measurement is going to be inches. My trim size, my books personally are 5.5 by 8.5. And then my marketplace will be Amazon.com. Page count, my books are typically 330 pages, right around there. And then for list price, like I said earlier, my books are typically $12.99. So you put in all that info and then you hit submit and then you scroll down and it gives us all the information. So we have the royalty rate of 60%. The minimum list price I can put my book at is $8.27. Of course, that doesn't matter if we already have our book listed for $12.99. But then it tells us that the printing cost is $4.96. And my estimated royalty rate is $2.83. And of course, you can play around with things and see how if you change the trim size or the page count, how that changes the printing cost. Because the lower you can get your printing cost, the more money you can make as an author. So we've talked about paperback books. Let's now talk about ebooks. So what is the royalty rate for ebooks? Because we don't have a printing cost for ebooks. The royalty rate for ebooks is either 30% or 70%. And you may wonder to yourself, why would I select 30% as my royalty rate? Well, the reason is you can only select 70% as your royalty rate if your book is between the price of $2.99 and $9.99. So if your book is less than $2.99, you have to select 30%, or if your book is more than $9.99, you have to select 30%. Most authors, especially indie authors, tend to price their book in the realm of the $2.99 to $9.99 just to get that 70% royalty rate, but you can price it more or less if you want to run special deals or if you just feel your book is worth more than $9.99 as an ebook. And since we're talking about ebook, that brings us to the Kindle Select program. So how are you paid through the Kindle Select program? For those of you who are unfamiliar, the Kindle Select program is when you exclusively publish your ebook through Amazon. This means your book is enrolled in the Kindle Unlimited program. This also only applies to the ebook. You can still publish your paperback book or hardcover book anywhere else. It's just your ebook that has to be exclusive. But Kindle Unlimited is a subscription that customers pay a certain amount every month, and then they have access to unlimited ebooks as long as they are enrolled in the Kindle Select program. I personally subscribe to Kindle Unlimited because I like to read a lot on my Kindle, and I personally have my books enrolled in the Kindle Select program for this reason, but also so I can reach more readers and I'm not wide distribution when it comes to my ebooks. Now, when you're in the Kindle Select program, the way you get paid is a little complicated because you don't get paid for when someone just downloads your book. You get paid based on how many pages they read. That means if you have a longer book, you will get paid more if they read the entire book versus if you have a shorter book and they read the entire book. But if they also only read 25% of the book, you're only going to get paid for that 25% that they read. This is because the way Amazon works is that they take all the money that all their customers pay for Kindle Unlimited, they put it into a pot, and then they take all the pages that they read, they calculate the number of pages that all the Kindle Unlimited customers read, and then they divide it out and distribute it amongst all the authors that way. This is referred to as the global fund payout. And because it's not a concrete number, because people are constantly subscribing and unsubscribing from Kindle Unlimited and the number of pages that they read every month varies, of course, that means that the number that is paid per page read changes from month to month. And typically you're paid less than a cent per page read. I will put the current amount that authors are being paid per page read as of August 2024. And of course, this number is recalculated every month, so it does change. I got this data from Written Word Media. They have an entire article on the global fund payout and what the past numbers have been, so you can see how it's either increased or decreased over the years. But for the current amount that you get paid, if you have 5,000 page reach, which in my personal opinion is a pretty easy number to reach, then you get paid $22.05. Yes, I know the way this is calculated is a little confusing, and if you're curious about the pros and cons to being in the Kindle Select program, I actually have a separate video on that, so I will leave that linked down below so you can check it out. Last but not least, let's talk about when you get paid. because you don't get paid right away. The way it works is that you get paid 60 days at the end of the month of your sales. So if you release a book in the month of January, you don't get paid for those sales in January until the end of March. So there's always going to be a 60-day delay. Unless you're in expanded distribution, then it's a 90-day delay instead. And that is more or less everything you need to know when it comes to Amazon royalty rates and how you get paid. And of course, also the printing costs associated with Kindle Direct Publishing. If you want to learn more about self-publishing, make sure to check out my self-publishing playlist, which will be linked down below. Otherwise, that is it for this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.